Hello, Rowan Mithril here once again, and it's time to start up our next project. Now, longtime viewers of my channel, they shouldn't be too terribly surprised that, hey, I like dragons. So, let's get some dragons up in here. This particular series, I've liked it ever since the first time I had a chance to play one of them. My first experience with this series, I think, goes back to when there was the official PlayStation magazine. They'd occasionally release demo discs, and this was on one of them. So I played the demo, and I just instantly fell in love with it. I thought it was charming and fun, and as soon as I had access to get the main game, I went for it. So, let's play Spyro the Dragon. So I do have a secondary file over there on the right that I've just been using to kind of get used to the game again, look ahead a little bit to get used to stages again, but we're going to be starting a new game. So, let's do this. In the world of dragons.
Okay, rolling.
Oh, it's been peaceful here in the Five Worlds, or is it 6? For a dragon's age. We now have 12,000 treasure, or is it 14,000?
What about this Ganasty Gnork character? Now, I understand he's found a magic spell to turn gems into warriors for his cause.
I'll take that question. Nasty Nork is a simple creature. Vampire. He has been contained in a remote world and is no threat to the Dragon Kingdom. No threat! Besides, he is ugly. That does it.
Looks like I've got some things to do.
Right, simple or not, don't antagonize the Gnork. Got it. The adventure begins. And with that, we're pretty much thrown straight into the game. So, hey, let's go rescue a dragon. Well, we rescued Nestor. Now where's Howard?
Thank you for releasing me, Spyro. Free 10 dragons in the Artisan world. Then find the balloonist. He'll transport you to the next world.
What about Nasty Nork? I'm going after him.
Find dragons first. That's all I can tell you.
So in each world we have a number of collectibles to find. If we look at the inventory screen, we can see what all we need to go after. This also includes hub worlds, so here in the Artisans Home world, we need to find 100 gems and 3 more dragons out of the 4. We've already got one of them. So, let's go for it. Yeah, like I'm gonna leave gems behind. Some treasure you can just find lying around like this. Others you actually need to beat enemies. There are different ways to defeat enemies. You can either charge into them or breathe fire on them. Not every method of defeating an enemy works on every enemy. We'll get to that later. This is also true of treasure chests. Simple ones like that, you can just breathe fire on them to open them. But there are other types of chests that we'll get to later. And here's the balloonist that Nestor was talking about. Marco. If you prove your worth by rescuing 10 dragons, then you may use this balloon to fly to a new world. Well, we're not there yet. We only have 1 out of 10. Balloonists in different worlds, they'll have different requirements for us. But the thing is, we can pretty much completely clear every world just the first time we get there. There's not a lot of backtracking involved in this game. In later Spyro games, Spyro gained new abilities as he went through the game, and in doing so, it would open up some areas that you couldn't get to before. Not really the case in this one. Get back here. And another dragon. Hi there, Delbin.
Where's Nasty Nork? I'll torch him.
Keep your horns on, Spyro. You have much to learn first. Do you know what the dragonfly following you is doing? His name is Sparks, and he's helping and protecting you. Keep an eye on him and see what I mean.
So the purpose of Sparks is essentially twofold. First off, he'll fly around and gather treasure that's close by. He basically gives us a wider range of the ability to pick stuff up. Second, he is also a measure of our health. As we take damage, he'll change colors. After 3 hits, he disappears, and another hit, we're done. You replenish his health by taking out fodder animals. We saw some earlier. These sheep here. Torch the sheep, and they release butterflies. And if Sparks is feeling poorly, he can eat the butterflies to regain health. And here we have another type of chest. These purple chests, they too, you just breathe fire on them to open them up. But they always contain a little dragon statue, and that gives you an extra life. At its heart, this game is basically just a 3D platformer collectathon. I enjoy those. Dragon! Hi there, Thomas.
Hey, Spyro, press the jump button twice to glide. And don't be afraid.
Afraid? Of what?
Falling from high mountain peaks, plummeting into prehistoric glaciers.
Oh, that.
Now, in the original PS1 trilogy, Spyro had 2 different voice actors. In this particular game, he's voiced by Carlo Salazraki. I know there are some other roles that I have heard him in that have sounded a lot like Spyro. I tried looking him up on the Internet Movie Database, but of course there you just largely get things like additional voices sometimes, so nothing particularly concrete there. There were a few listed roles, though, that were things I did recognize him from. Just different cartoons that I've seen over the course of my life. For example, in Mucha Lucha, he was Ricochet. In Rocco's Modern Life, he was both Rocco and Spunky. And in Camp Lazlo, he was Lazlo. That might actually be the one I'm thinking of. I want to say Lazlo sounded kinda like this. In the later games in the PS1 trilogy, Spyro was voiced by Tom Kenny. I think overall I prefer that voice, but this one isn't bad. It makes him sound like just a eager, youthful dragon, and that works pretty nicely. So we have level portals like that one there. We'll get to it later, though. For now, we still need to find all the goodies in this stage, and whoops! Overshot! There we go. Give me lovely gems. Yeah, thankfully you don't lose health by just bashing into walls like that. In later games, Spyro got a kind of a hover jump he could do at the end of a glide, and it helped out a lot in cases like that. It gave you just enough vertical height to clear jumps like that where you didn't quite make it. It was quite the lifesaver. Sadly, in this one he doesn't have that. And with that, we've found the last of the gems in this area. And the last of the dragons. Hi there, Argus.
Cool Flash. Do that again.
The Artisans boss is through a portal in the Dragon Mouth. But you are not yet ready, Spyro. First you must complete one of the other artisan lands.
One last thing to open up here in the Artisans' homeland. This area looks kind of suspicious, doesn't it? So, let's just land on each of these platforms once. One thing to be wary of, Spyro really does not like water, so don't land in it. But landing on all the platforms, we've opened up another gate. Sunny Flight. We'll get to this one later. For now, though, if we look at the inventory screen, we've found everything in the Artisan's homeland. So with that, we're ready to take on one of the actual stages. So we'll start with this one, Stone Hill. And we'll take this up after a quick refreshing pause. Back in a moment.